Hey guys, how's it going? Well, today I'm not doing head nodding today, although if you hear from my head nodding series, but I will be doing a little bit of a jingle actually toward the end, so we'll get a little bit of that. But no, today I thought I would do a film review of the new Eurovision film, Eurovision Song Contest: The Story of Fire Saga, which has just been released on Netflix. Now I've been waiting for this film for ages because I knew they were doing research into it about 2 years ago when the contest was held in Lisbon, Portugal. And when I first heard they were doing one, I thought fantastic. And I thought, I hope it's a comedy because that makes sense. You've got to make a comedy of Eurovision. You know, it's a little bit over the top, it's a bit crazy, but also it can be serious, especially some of the acts. And I'm going to talk about how I think the film was true to the spirit of Eurovision, and did they really portray it in the way it should do? Because people who know me will tell you, I'm a massive Eurovision nerd. I went to the Eurovision the other year. It was finally like a dream come true. Finally get to Eurovision, and this is the official program. Although backwards, you might be able to tell. But anyway, this is from Stockholm. The when it was hosted there, 2016, and it was amazing. I took lots of things with me, Swedish phrase books, and actually I have a lot of Swedish things, Swedish hats. I got this tankard all the way from Sweden. It's quite heavy to bring it back in the suitcase, let me tell you. Although this film, it follows the main characters, Lars and Sigrid, and they are actually trying to represent Iceland at Eurovision, not Sweden. But yeah, that's just sort of the country that I really root for most years because they take it so seriously, and you watch the national selections, and I'm going to get onto that in this review, in fact. So I absolutely love it. So when they were doing the film, I had high expectations, and I can tell you now that they met those expectations definitely. I was not disappointed. So is it good for someone maybe who's not watched Eurovision before, or are you going to like it if you love Eurovision? So I've got a few bits here I thought I'd tell you about. Right then, so it follows Will Ferrell's character and Rachel McAdams. I can't say I've watched many films with Rachel in mind. I've seen quite a few Will Ferrell films. And they are trying to represent Iceland at Eurovision. They're sort of band, they're a duo. They're a bit quirky, and it's definitely very much like a lot of acts you do see trying to compete for Eurovision, some that do make it, because you do get some really strange acts or strange costumes or very over the top. Sometimes they can't sing. That's rarer because generally, you've got to win a national selection. And something I'm very happy that they did in this film is they did show the process, because people like myself who are part of the Eurovision fandom, we start watching it from like January onwards every year. It's January to May, big period of the year, and we root for national selection songs. So we see the 10 songs that get chosen for Iceland or Sweden or Norway, and we listen to them all and to see and then we root for songs that we want to win in each country. And it was great because in this film they do show this. They show the national selection process. They also have facts in the film that people who are not familiar with it, especially maybe because they were trying to push this for an American audience, that they're really not familiar with this show. So they'll have facts in about, if you win, you have to host it. And also there's a sort of a running joke about the cost of hosting it. And especially if a country like Iceland was to win it, or a smaller country, it's going to be a problem because it's a lot of money. They don't realise how much goes into it. And so it was great. They showed the national selection, try and show them going through. What other things do they say? Well, they also throw in some of the facts like stereotypes throughout the film. The UK is terrible at Eurovision. Some of the acts have got a lot more money and stage when we're at Eurovision. You can see the different countries. Some have got got the whole shebang, and others don't. I just thought from the start of the film, they really demonstrated someone's journey from trying to get to Eurovision from the start. I really connected with the main character, Lars, because he's sort of ridiculed by people. No one really takes him seriously. Very much, I can really connect with that because I feel the same. and he has problems with certain members of his family, and it's true in life. I think there is a lot of things in life where you can be really passionate about something, and people around you just well, they don't get you and make fun of you, and so there was a lot of deep looking into each of the characters and their motivations for wanting to do it, which I thought was great, because maybe some people don't realise how seriously it's taken in other countries, and it's maybe not in the UK, for instance. Here it's not taken very seriously, but the film does a great at showing that. They've also got for big Eurovision fans, they've got some great cameos in the film, and they show the pre-party, how it goes about in the contest, because it's not just about the event on the Saturday night, and they do even include the semi-finals in this, which was good, because I thought they might not do that, but they did. They showed every part of it, the pre-parties and the start of the week. They showed Lars and Sigrid going around the host city, which was in Edinburgh, actually. I will say, actually, there was a few things in it that if you're a big Eurovision fan, you would say, oh, that's odd. Why is it being hosted in Scotland when they even mention in the film that UK is rubbish? So we're not likely to have won, are we? So there is a few technicalities, and there's a country trying to qualify in the semi-final. I think it was Spain, who everyone knows, if you're a big Eurovision fan, that they already automatically qualify for the final. But like I say, a few small things like that, I'm not going to criticise the film for that. And the most general viewer, they won't have batted an eyelid about that. So that was fantastic. There is the main characters. You have got a bit of tension between them, because maybe Lars is really taking it seriously, going to Eurovision for the first time, and there's also a bit of a love tension going on, and you'll see that how that goes on in the film, because like I say, I don't want to give too many spoilers away with this review. I think one of the biggest things as well you've got to talk about with this film is the soundtrack, and I think they were on the money with it, because Eurovision songs can be quite cheesy, corny, definitely over the top, and there are some ballads in it. And for the soundtrack they've made for this film, they have really shown that. They've shown the different sort of the costumes that are worn on the stage, the different sorts of music, but they're all generally all quite quirky, cheesy, upbeat numbers, obviously with a few ballads in. And it was fantastic in that respect. Now, like I say, when I'm doing this film review, I'm not going to talk about, oh, was the camera angle good? Oh, did the actor look in the right direction at that point of the film? I think most people just want to know, was it enjoyable? Most people are not interested in all these finer details of a film. That probably the film critics would give it like 10% for all these reasons. You just got to know, did you enjoy it? And personally, I think it was fantastic, and a regular viewer who's never watched it before would love it, because the music, the storyline, and they didn't mock Eurovision either. They were very good at giving it respect and not taking the mick too much. It was done in a friendly way with a bit of banter, and some of the scenes were there's a lot of jokes actually in it. So if you watch the film, you'll have a real laugh with it. And again, I'm not going to tell you about the end, but I will say that it gets quite emotional by the end, and you don't realise it will have done that, because there's so many scenes between, especially the main two characters. That's really what it's focusing on, and you don't realise how involved you get with their song. And another thing I actually want to mention, something they also show, is how a lot of the Eurovision acts will amend their songs throughout the contest, or they might put a different beat in the background, or they might start singing it differently. And that's definitely, if you're a big Eurovision fan, that happens every year. Someone will choose a song, and then 3 or 4 months later it's been revamped and it's slightly different. It's still the same song, but it's ever so slightly different. And you will see that in the film too. So I would say, accuracy, 10 out of 10. The acting in it, brilliant. Again, let's not mark the acting, but fantastic. They did what they wanted to, and fantastic. I can't say much more. I keep saying that word, don't I? Because it was very good. So go and watch it, people. And I think we'll just finish as well with a little song from the film, because there's so many good ones in it. I mean, it's hard to choose one to play. You need to watch it, people. You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll and actually you will add a lot of the songs to your Spotify, which I have done. Just brilliant. So here is Ya Ya Ding Dong, and actually when I heard this song in the film, I did think to myself, this sounds like a lot of this sort of the folk pop songs I hear when I watch a lot of the Scandinavian national selections in the year. So again, kudos to the makers of this film for this song. But like I say, there's some amazing songs in this film. This is more of the fun one. You do need to watch it and give it a listen. I don't want to give too much away to anyone who hasn't watched it. Okay, so this is Ya Ya Ding Dong. Oh, it's good. We'll have a little head nod, shall we, along to this, shall we? Let's have a look. Easy to remember as well. Day, all day. It's easy to remember. Ya ya, ding dong, ding dong. Ya ya, ding dong. See that they become. Ya ya, ding dong. Ding dong. Fantastic. Just a little snippet for you. Ya ya ding dong. I've been singing that ever since it came out. And the final song, Husavik. I'd be interested to know, it's sang by a Swedish singer called Molly Sandén. She actually has competed to try and be representing Sweden many times. And she sings that song at the end, although it's lip-synced. And, oh, it's fantastic. I'd be interested to know, because it's done really well on the global iTunes chart, how, if it's like the first song that's at least partly in Icelandic that's ever finished as high up as that in the iTunes chart. So it's great as well, like I say, because you have a lot of songs in Eurovision that are part English, part a different language, or just another language entirely. And that was another thing that they did well in this film to show, because they're not all purely in English, these Eurovision songs, you know? They're a mixture sometimes, or half and half, or completely not. So it was awesome. Oh, actually, one more thing I forgot to mention. There's a superstition in the film about the elves. I originally thought it was a sort of a, because Will Ferrell was in the film Elf, I thought it was some sort of a joke because of that. But if anyone's Icelandic who's watching this, I'd be interested to know, is there a sort of a superstition with elves then in Iceland? Is that sort of a, like Ireland, don't they have the leprechauns and things? Is there something with elves in Iceland? I would assume that what probably was, but I actually don't know. But that was cool because every culture has their own little things that they follow, and they included that in the film. And even if it's not real, when you watch the film, it makes it quite funny. So yeah, I don't think I can say much more else. I just think you guys need to go out and watch it. I love the songs, and you'll have a good laugh if you watch it, I think. So yeah, I'd say get on it. And like I say, you might be singing all these songs afterwards, so don't blame me if that happens, okay? Because, you know, it's at your own risk. As I say when you do my head nodding series, head nod at your own risk, but, you know, watch this film at your own risk, because, you know, if you're singing these songs now for the rest of the, you know, the week, the day, the month, the year, whatever, you know, it's not on me, okay? Well, see you later, people. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Right, bye.